Yeah, I spotted it this time. I saw it. So he said in this chapter, in multiple chapters too, he said, the Most High doesn't dwell in a house that I made. He dwells, within the Israelites and stuff. Especially in the New Testament, it says that Yahweh dwelleth in you are the temple. So he's not in that temple over there. He's in the midst of Jacob. In the physical form, he was there in the ark, but he wasn't there. But he was there. 1 Samuel 14 and 4, or 1 Samuel 4 and 4. One of those two. King David said it, that the Most High dwelleth within the cherubims. What is it? Second Samuel 4? $14 though? Maybe 1 Samuel? What? Oh yeah. 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 4. So the people sent to Shiloh, which is in Ephraim, which is where the Ark of the Covenant, the physical ark, it was there, that they might bring from thence the Ark of the Covenant of the Most High Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. He was right there. Well, he wasn't there, but he was there. Meaning, you don't put your faith in that thing, but he's there. That's what I mean with he was there, but he wasn't there. Meaning, you don't put your faith in that he's there, but he's there. You put your faith in, he's all over the place. That's the one that you should believe in. Just like Yahawashi nowadays. He's the ark. You don't put your faith in the ark. You put your faith in Yahawashi. He's the ark. So it says here, which dwelleth between the cherubims. And you can read the rest for yourself. Let me go back to where I was. Which is, I just read 1 Samuel 4 and 4. Okay, 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 41. Moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people Israel, but cometh out of a far country for thy name's sake. Isaiah chapter 2 backs this up. Let me get that real quick for a precept. Because a lot of people might be like, hey, wait a minute, the heathens can't shut the fuck up. It says it right here. They're not going to be saved. They are going to worship YahawahWaYahawashi and slap the shit out of them. Because the book of Micah chapter 4 says, the Most High will famish all the gods of the earth, and every one of them shall come and bow down to YahawahWaYahawashi. And if you don't serve the Most High YahawahWaYahawashi, what he's going to do, he's going to make it to where you're going to starve to death. Because he's not going to bring rain upon, that's Zechariah 14. He's not going to let rain come down upon your land, and therefore you're going to starve to death. Just as what Esau is going to do right now. He's going to starve people in order for them to take the digital ID. And if you don't take the digital ID, he's going to starve you to death. But there's always going to be a little outcomes and stuff like that, like get out of it, a free out of jail ticket card type of thing, a license to ill, that. And then you're going to be able to do certain things and stuff like that. The Most High is going to make it to where you're going to be able to do things, man. All you need to do is just put your faith in the Most High. People going to be trying to fearmonger you like, hey, man, you need to do this. I don't need to do nothing. I need to pray to YahawahWaYahawashi. That's what I need to do. I don't need to get myself gold and silver. What the fuck am I going to do with that? Gold and silver is not going to help you in that time. I don't need that shit. I don't need that shit. I got gold right here. I'm not going to sell it. Heavenly Father willing. Fuck out of here, dude. We're gonna fight. That's what's up. Anyway, Isaiah chapter 2, verse 3. I started at 3. Just go to the point. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. So that means people are not going to be celebrating flying freaking reindeers anymore. They're going to be celebrating the feast days of YahawahWaYahawashi, the feast days of Jacob, which the Most High set it forth. And they're going to do things that we tell them to do. They're going to have their household in check, just like how Esau is actually in your household right now. If you don't do certain things, he comes and takes your money and then gives it to the female. Even though it's supposed to go to the child, it goes to the female, because no child in existence, never will, never shall, needs $1,000 a week. No child. No child in existence need that. I don't even. I wouldn't even know what the fuck to spend money on if I had 4,000 a week, 1,000 a week. I wouldn't even know what to do. The fuck am I gonna do? Get bitches? I don't think so, man. I wouldn't know what to do. I really wouldn't know what to do. I'm not going on vacation because I don't like that. I'm good. Y'all heard this? I'm cool. I don't need that shit. I'm stationary. Anyway, I stay in one place. That's me. I gotta do it like that. I need to stay myself. You can't be like other people. If you're like other people, that will make you fake. You need to be as yourself. Hopping around. That's why I don't even do a camp hopping. Never did it. I might look at another, see what they teaching and stuff like that. Not in that shit, man. I don't like traveling. I travel with the mind. So it says here, Isaiah 2 and 3. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So that's what's going to happen with the Jacob descendants. We're going to have the rulership of everything. And just like how Esau right now has everybody up on the planet Earth, they're pumping to celebrate flying reindeers, pumping to do the Thanksgiving thing and stuff like that, pumping to do bunnies that lay eggs. They really love these feast days and stuff like that. The whole world is doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be flipped around to where the whole world is going to do the things of Jacob. They're going to do it. And if they don't, you already know what's up. I hope the Most High has his tormentors. Just like back in the days, King David had his executioners. And those were Canaanites. To chop your fucking head off. And they were strong as shit. Just like how you have in the nation, they're called the Cherethites and the Pelethites. Cherethites are Mizraim. They come from Mizraim. And the Pelethites, they're Canaanites too. But the thing is, certain Jacob descendants were in their midst that also had that title. One is a nation and the other one is a nation too. But the other one was a title, because if you look up that word, it goes into guard. And then further on, somewhere in the scriptures, that same word is used for King David's his guards. But those guards were Hamites, and the other ones were Israelites. They had the same name, the title as guard, but that same word is used in another chapter in First Kings, somewhere in First Kings. Was it First Kings? Somewhere in First Kings, chapter 1 until chapter. Oh no, it was what comes before Kings? Samuel. Yeah, Samuel. 2 Samuel. So somewhere in 2 Samuel, it's called the Cherethites and the Pelethites. And the Most High said that in the end, he's going to exterminate them too. Wait, let me get that because... Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 4. So it says right here, for Gaza shall be forsaken. That's where the Hamites were. Mizraim was there, which is the Philistines is Mizraim. And Ashkelon is also Mizraim, Philistines. And Ashkelon, the desert, well, nowadays is talking about these Ishmaelites and these Amalekites. But I'm reading it as how it was written in that time. Let me see again, Zephaniah 2 and 4. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod as the noonday. Just like how the noonday is being driven out, all of a sudden it's gone. That's how they're gonna be, taken care of. And Ekron, which is also Philistines, shall be rooted up. But nowadays it's talking about these Amalekites and these Ishmaelites. Here's the point, verse 5. Woe to the inhabitants of the sea coast, the nation of the Cherethites. The Cherethites. The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan. So the Cherethites are Canaan. Well, let me say this before, because it looked like I'm contradicting. I'm going to give you an example. Here. Check this out. Okay, what's the other one? Okay, I got it, right. Okay, check this out. Now this is the book of Joshua 11 and 19. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites that inhabited Gibeon. All other they took in battle. So it shows you that the Gibeonites were Hivites, right? In one verse, Joshua 11, 19. But then if you go to 2 Samuel 21. 2 Samuel 21 and 2. It says here, and the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them, and Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and to Judah. So the children of Israel in this verse is talking about the northern tribes. But my point is this. I said before, like they were from here, they were from here. Well, the Amorites collectively are called Canaanites. Sorry, the Canaanites are sometimes collectively called Amorites. The Hittites are in there too. As when you say Amorites, the Hittites are in there, the Canaanites are in there too, Jebusites and all that. They're all collectively called Amorites. Genesis 15 shows you that too. Genesis 15 shows you that too. I'm going to give you an example of how we do it in Jacob. When they say Jews, especially in the New Testament, what are they talking about? They're not just talking about Judah. They're talking about Benjamin. But eventually, they're talking about all the tribes. You know, some to a certain degree sometimes. Even Paul said, I'm a Benjamite. But then another scripture says, I'm a Judite. So, the thing what I just said was not a mistake. It's if you understand what I just said, they'd be like, oh yeah, they do call themselves Canaanites sometimes, and they do call themselves Amorites, but they're Canaanites. And they do call themselves Amorites, but they're Hivites. You know, just like I said, Benjamin, he calls himself Judah, but he isn't. He's a Benjamite. But anyway, so going back to where I was, was Zephaniah. So the Cherethites are the they're actually Amos chapter 9. That's what they are. Amos 9, and also they're from Kaptor, which is Mizraim. But sometimes they're called Canaanites, or else it would be the Bible would contradict itself unless you understand the history of how they used to call themselves. I did many videos on, not many, but I did these chapters. So Yahweh wrote this up. Let me go back to where I was. Where was I? First Kings, right? First Kings 18, right? So it says right here. Oh yeah, Isaiah 2. Isaiah 2 and 3. And many people shall go and say, come, ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, the house to the house of the power of Jacob, and they will teach us of his. He will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So, and by the way, Benjamin was in Jerusalem. And the bottom, the south of the Benjamin was Judah. And yeah, Judah was in Jerusalem too. But it was Benjamin's land. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. The point is that you're going to have the heathen nations that's going to follow after everything that the Jacob descendants put out there. Just like how everybody is following after the customs of Esau right now. With, for example, pants for you know, women, leggings and stuff like that, you know. Everybody's following after their customs, because I know the East Indian females, when you go to their country, they don't wear pants. Not like that. It's when they come over here that they start wearing pants and stuff like that. But because everybody follows the customs of Esau. You know, you know what type of things they do. That's why you had this Kenyan female, right? She spread her legs for, you know, for a dude from America. Spread her legs, got a child 12 months later and stuff like that, with a child and all that there. And then he finally got them papers together and stuff like that. So he brought her from Kenya, he brought her to America. Yeah. So she settled down, and then everything about her is documented, because she got like Facebook or whatever. And then somebody put a little 2-minute clip up to chop everything up and put everything together of a few years. He put in a few minutes. He put it forth in a few minutes, like 2 minutes. And then you can see her coming in from Kenya, and then with the baby, being all happy, ear to ear smile, then being brought from there 12 months later, being brought from there. So he knocked her up in Kenya, brought her to America, lived there for a moment. Then she was unpacking her green card. Then you saw the video cut, and then the other is edited. Then you saw other video of her with her phone now. Now, bitch got a phone. She didn't have a phone. But anyway, she was filming herself, and then she put in the caption, payback for you passport bros that are abusive and that, you know, think that you can basically, oh man, I had a laugh on that. That shows you, like, damn, that bitch was scheming. She was angry. And I'm gonna put the link in the description box. Calling him abusive. Why? Not that he beat her up, because he went to go over there trying to get himself a wife, and she said he wanted a slave, basically, not even a slave, but a submissive wife and all that there. And then she turned around and married the Edomite. she was hugging up on the Edomite and all that day. The guy was crying, man. But that was funny. You want to go out there and get yourself a wife? Really? This is 2025. You're still trying to believe in that love bullshit, boy? Either you get it from the 90s or you don't have it right now. Maybe the early 2000s. I mean, I'm talking about in the Western so-called world, Westernized world. If you go to the east of the world, trying to get where you got money, that's why the best way to get a girl is actually to have nothing. And then if she loves you for that, that's your girl. Because if you got money, you trust her. You trust her. Man, I ain't got money, shit, man, shit. And that's how I know if a girl like me. You know? By having nothing. And they still hanging around you? Yeah, that's a keeper. But anyway, enough of that. So, First Kings, let me finish this up. First Kings 8 and 41. Moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people Israel, but cometh out of a far country for thy name's sake. For they shall hear of thy great name, and of thy strong hand, and of thy stretched out arm, when he shall come and pray toward this house. Get it? So you're going to have the heathen nations coming out, praying toward YahawahWaYahawashi. Let me read it again. Yeah, I went fast. First Kings chapter 8, verse 41. Moreover, a stranger that is not of thy people Israel, but cometh out of a far country, for thy name's sake. For they shall hear of thy great name, Yahweh, and of thy strong hand, how he delivered the nation of Jacob, and of thy stretched out arm, how he gathered together the nation of Jacob once more again. That's in now. When he shall come, the heathen, when he shall come and pray toward this house, So the direction of the house that Solomon built, because it's going to explain that it's the house that he built and put the ark up in there, they're going to pray also toward the direction of that house. So they're going to pray. Salvation is not for you, kiddo, but you're going to serve the Most High, whether you like it or not. Verse 43. Hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place. So let me read it again. So it says here, verse 43. Hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place. So if you read this chapter, you will see that King Solomon acknowledges that the Most High is not there. He's not there. He's there. He's all over the place. Because he even says, like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, save for sacrifice. Because you're not there. But you're there, but you're not there. We don't put our faith that you're there. We put our faith that you're where you are, in the dwelling place in heaven, right? So 43. Hear thou in heaven, thou dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for. Like in the book of Jeremiah 35, you see the Rechabites, which are Midianites, they also get a blessing from YahawahWaYahawashi. People might say, like, hey, wait a minute, the Most High doesn't bless heathens. Really? You err not knowing the scriptures. I didn't say salvation for them, kiddo. I said they get their blessing. Esau got his blessing. His blessing was the sword. Didn't he get a blessing? Was it a good one? No, but it was a good one for a long while, for a small season, and then it's going to be a bad one. Ishmael got his blessing from the I have blessed him, but my covenant what I do with Isaac. Genesis 17. So it says right here, and the blessing of Ishmael is Genesis 16, if I'm correct. No, it's Genesis 17 also. I have blessed him, but my covenant will I do with Isaac or something. Will I do with Isaac? 43. So 1 Kings 8:43. Hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for. For all people of the earth, all 100% of them, may know thy name to fear thee, as do thy people Israel. As do thy people Israel. And they that may and that they may know that this house which I have built is called by thy name. The heathen nations are going to bow down toward YahawahWaYahawashi, and they was also praying toward the direction of which is in the east. Now, if you are in the east, then you need to pray to the west, because you know it's according to your direction toward the house. But we don't do that no more. Well, I do pray in the direction of the house, but it's not there. So it don't matter if I pray to the east or not. It don't matter. He's not there. It's YahawahWaYahawashi. You pray to the direction of YahawahWaYahawashi, which is not a physical direction. It's here. Put wait. Eh? Matthew 6. I thought so. Matthew 6:20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where not what? Let me. So Matthew 6:19. 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Because they did steal. They stole the ark. They stole everything. They stole the gold. They break. The Most High allowed them to break the two pillars. Jeremiah 52. I was looking for it. So Jeremiah 52 and what was it? 17. Also, the pillars of brass that were in the house of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and the bases, and the brass and sea that was in the house of the Lord, the Chaldeans break and carried all the brass of them to Babylon, and they melted it. But my point is that the house of the Lord is broken, so there's nothing there. So and you shouldn't put your faith in something that's there because it's stolen. It's gone. We put our faith in YahawahWaShem there. So it doesn't matter where the direction you pray. You can do it to the east. I mean, it was there, so you do it there. But so I'm not telling you not to pray toward there. I'm telling you to think about it like, yeah, he's not there. Where he, just like how King Solomon said that Yahawashi is not, the Most High Yahweh is not there. He's all over the place. But in that case, in that chapter, you pray toward that house for his name's sake. And nowadays we still do it, but when I do it toward the east, I'm thinking of Yahawashi as that temple. I'm not thinking of the temple itself, the house of the Lord where the Ark of the Covenant was in, because the Ark of the Covenant is not there. One. Second, it's gone. And you don't put your faith in something that is able to be stolen, because it was stolen. You put your faith in something that you cannot see. Faith. Hope is the thing. Faith is the thing of hope that you cannot see, but you hope for it. Something like that. Something like that. So let me finish this up. I'm getting on it. So back to Zechariah 14 explains to you that you're gonna have them. You're going to have the heathen nations also pray to Yahawashi, and if they don't, famine. I hope the Most High sends a Jason to you. They that would not that I should rule over him, bring hither and slay them before me. I hope I get that job. But anyway, the Cherethites are going to get destroyed by the Most High, which shows you that the Cherethites are, if I'm correct, I might get messed up. I think they're Mizraim or they're Canaan, because it does mess me up sometimes. But I did a video about it. I don't remember exactly which one, but I looked it up and you can see it. Like, no, it's his son. So it's either Mizraim or Canaan. One of those two. Anyway, what was I doing in Jeremiah 31? I forgot. Zechariah 14. Okay, let me hit them up. Zechariah 14 and 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravaged. So your friends of the heathen nations that are buddy with you, they're going to turn against you, because the Most High is going to make it to where all nations in existence are going to turn against the Jacob descendants. Let me read it again. Zechariah 14 and 2. I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be... He will gather all nations to come and fight against the Jacob descendants. And that day, it was Judah and Benjamin, when it was talking about the nation of Jacob at that day. And then all the heathen nations round about us. The Most High put it in their spirit to go fight them. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, because he's going to give us up. And the houses rifled, and the women ravaged. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity. And the residue of the people, Micah chapter 5, verse 7 on down, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then the Most High shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. That's what's going to actually really set it up like that. Most High YahawahWaShem is going to actually he's going to do things. You know what I'm saying? Judges chapter 23, verse 10. And I hope that day, because I'm sitting here like Bururi, waiting in my chair. I ain't got a king's chair. Fuck out of there. I got a very old chair. I had a doper chair back in the days, but I'm a motherfucker. Anyway, I had a dope chair. I had a dope chair back in the days, man. But something happened to that chair, man. I had my Brawley chair, man. You know what? Whatever thing you have on the planet Earth that you like, something might happen to it, man. That's why you shouldn't like no one. I don't like no fuck out of that shit. Nothing. I don't want to have nothing close to me because everything that you put close, motherfuckers is going. Something is gonna happen. They're gonna try to steal it from you, or they're just gonna do something. You know, it's irritating. It's very irritating. But anyway, things that you have upon the planet Earth. That's why you shouldn't put your heart in something on the planet Earth. Even if it's something very like it doesn't. It's not even worth. It's an old couch or just it's more for sentimental things and stuff like that, right? More for just mind things that you have in your mind. You know, even that people might take it from you. Anyway, so yeah, so that's that part. The Most High is gonna make it to where He's gonna set up all the heathen nations against you. So if you think that you're doing good with your heathen friends, it's not always going to be the same. It's not always going to be a fact. So let me wrap it up. Revelation chapter 13 verse 15. And He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And He caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Where am I? Shit. To receive. Huh? To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the name, or the number of his name. So and that number is 666. So it says here, verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That's the preload to. No, not preload. I mean the end thingy of the digital ID that's popping up right now, talking about if you don't have it, He's basically gonna starve you to death. Because if you can't get work, you can't get money, you can't get job, you can't get nothing, you're gonna starve. And that's the same way that Esau lost his birthright, starvation. He should have just gone on a fast, but he didn't. You know, and if he did, we would be in trouble. So it's good that he actually got so hungry that he just sold his birthright. Like, fuck it, give me some food. Good. Now I get to laugh. About 4,000 years later, I'm still laughing. And you angry. That's good. I don't care about that. Anyway, I think I'm done. I'm looking for something. No, I'm done. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises to the Most High Yahawah, Bashem, Yahawashi, Bashem, with those double on the son to the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures among other things. And shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Shalom.